Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It was a typical Tuesday morning at the Good Morning Britain studios. The sun had barely risen, but inside the high-ceilinged ITV building in London, the crew was already buzzing. The coffee machines hissed, camera lights blinked to life, and Richard Madeley rehearsed his lines in front of the mirror, smoothing his navy blue tie. "Let's keep it smooth today, yeah," muttered floor manager Niall, clipboard in hand. No slip-ups like yesterday's cabbage inflation moment. Richard smirked. No promises. Susanna Reid arrived moments later, composed and perfectly styled as always. Big guest this morning. Niall hesitated. Yes, Marla Drake. Activist. Climate justice. Political reform. Anti-establishment. Bit of a fire starter. Richard's eyebrow twitched. Ah, one of those. Marla Drake, a 33-year-old former political strategist turned viral commentator, had been making waves on social media. She was known for her blunt, unfiltered opinions. Critics called her arrogant. Fans called her brave. ITV had booked her for a hot segment. The state of politics. Time to tear down the system. What they got was fire. At precisely 7:48 a.m., the GMB logo faded from the screen. The studio lights brightened. Richard Madeley turned to face the camera. Joining us now is political firebrand and author of The Crown is Crumbling, Marla Drake. She says Britain needs a revolution. Marla, good morning. Morning, she said, crossing her legs, eyes fierce behind square-rimmed glasses. Lovely to be in the palace of corporate media. Susanna coughed lightly. Richard chuckled. We like to think of ourselves as quite neutral, actually. Marla's lips curled. You're about as neutral as a steak at a vegan wedding, Richard. The tension hit instantly. Richard's smile tightened. Well, let's dive in. You say the government is corrupt, the monarchy irrelevant, and mainstream media, us included, complicit. Is that not slightly dramatic? Dramatic? No, I'd call it accurate. Britain is stuck in the 1950s, clinging to class privilege, and you're all playing dress-up while the house burns down. Viewers at home blinked into their tea mugs. Susanna tried to interject. Some would say that's an oversimplification, Marla. Marla turned, cold as winter wind. Some would say your show oversimplifies every issue into tabloid bait. What's the next headline? Revolution Girl ruins breakfast. Richard laughed, trying to lighten the mood. Don't tempt our graphics team. But the damage was done. The hashtags began trending before the segment even ended. Sarah GMB fan tweeted, "Who let this rude woman on air? No respect for Richard or Susanna. Get her off." Polly Fortreth posted, "Finally someone saying what needs to be said. Marla Drake for PM." Others were less kind. The GMB inbox flooded. Producers upstairs at ITV News Control watched in horror and delight. Viewer engagement was through the roof. As the cameras cut to weather, Richard stood and marched off set. In the dressing room corridor, he slammed his dressing room door with a rare burst of rage. "She's a walking grenade," he muttered, tearing off his make. Susanna followed, calm as ever. She was bold, yes, but maybe we should have been better prepared. Richard turned. I've interviewed politicians, authors, war veterans. I've never been interrupted mid-question by someone calling me a colonial puppet. Meanwhile, Marla sipped coffee in the green room, unmoved. A junior producer, Tom, cautiously approached her. Thanks for your contribution. The internet's exploding." "Good," Marla said flatly. Maybe now someone will listen. By noon, ITV's executive floor was in emergency mode. Head of daytime, Lorraine Godfrey, paced a glass-walled conference room. "We asked for bold," she said, pointing at the clip frozen on a TV screen. Marla made eye roll at Richard. "We got explosive." "Richard's threatening to walk unless we clarify editorial policy," added her assistant. Another exec chimed in. "We've got MPs demanding an apology, but our ratings are up 200% since 8 a.m. Lorraine took a deep breath. "Let's issue a statement. GMB is a place for debate. We do not endorse guests' views but defend their right to speak." And Marla, "We won't invite her back." "Unless ratings drop," someone muttered. Marla Drake's name hit all major news outlets by lunchtime. Daily Mail, Woke Warrior Rex Morning Show. The Guardian, Marla's fury exposes GMB's flaws. The Sun, Madeley's madness meets match. By 3 p.m., Marla's book hit number 3 on Amazon. Her followers surged to 1.4 million. ATV held firm, publicly. But behind closed doors, they were plotting something bigger. They pitched her a one-off debate special, Britain Unfiltered with Marla Drake. She said no, until she heard who else they invited. Richard Madeley. She grinned. Let's give them a show. 2 weeks later, in a sleek ITV primetime studio, the rematch began. The audience was divided. Half clapped for Richard, half for Marla. Opening question: is British media failing the public? Richard gave a well-crafted monologue on journalistic tradition, democracy, and balance. Marla responded, "If this is balance, then gravity's broken." The debate sizzled. Both sparred. Viewers couldn't look away. And then, unexpectedly, something changed. Richard paused, leaned back, and said, "You know what, Marla? You're tough, and I respect that." Marla blinked, then smiled. For the first time, the audience applauded them both. After the debate, they sat alone in the green room. "No hard feelings?" Richard asked, sipping wine. Marla chuckled. "Depends if you call me a grenade again. You're a tactical nuke, at least." She laughed, a real one this time. He continued, "We should do something with this. Tour, podcast, call it Opposites Attract." "Let me think on it." By morning, ITV had received over 50,000 emails demanding more shows with both of them. Months later, The Morning Rift premiered, a weekly program where Marla and Richard co-hosted political debates, social topics, and even comedy segments. It was electric, a culture clash with surprising chemistry. Critics called it the best unlikely pairing since Lennon met McCartney. It won a National Television Award by year's end. 1 year to the day since the original GMB clash, they returned to the breakfast studio. Same seats, same time, same host duo. Richard turned to camera, and today we're joined once again by Marla Drake. The audience laughed. Marla grinned. "Let's hope I don't break your teacup this time." Viewers at home smiled. It all began with outrage, but it ended with evolution, because sometimes a little rudeness can start a revolution.